Hello, this is Douglas. This is scene 8. I call this the Odessa scene because of the O. There's no direct linkage, segue into scene 8 from scene 7, other than seeing Moss from knee down with boots on under the trailer, struggling to retrieve the hidden weapons he discovered by the not overly curious wife, who rhymes Llewellyn with "what the hell." Since he's on his back with boots flailing, this should be an obvious backlighting or post-shadowing of the young sheriff's unintentional, devil-marked abstract painting. Unfortunately as well, an obvious foreshadowing of Moss laying Christ-like near the end. Perhaps the lack of a direct segue undercuts the causal determinism suggested by the traveling coin. Moss explains to his wife, "Go to Odessa. It's midnight Sunday, 9 hours from now. 9:30 they show up." The irony may simply be, when men hide things from their wives, it's selfish. Yet Moss is characterized as protective. "Go stay with Mother without me." Moss points out the linear cause and effect of the present to the future, until the cops are bad guys coming after him at an exact time, ironically 9:30 a.m. as opposed to 9:30 p.m., which Shigor, in the last scene, would be coming back for the Texaco man. Again, notice the biblical allusions, Sunday and midnight, and 3 successive 3 motif numbers, 12, midnight, 9, and 9:30. The self-bandaging in front of a mirror remind us again of Shigor's evil presence, as well the impending separation of their marriage. Her only nagging or criticism of the situation is to point out his failure to apologize. Moss, as a realist, similar to Shigor, slightly laments, affectionately, "Baby, things happen, can't take it back," as in change the past. There is also the subtextual echo, remembering how Moss asked her to tell Mama, "I love her if I don't come back." Now Carla Jean asks him, what should she tell her mama when arriving in Odessa? The O-shaped motif has now moved to the front of the word versus Friendo, Plano, Texaco. And though we learn of Llewellyn Moss's last name a few scenes later, it bears mention to identify the symbolism of his name per classic literary criticism. Though he's one of 3 main characters, and it has been argued this is mainly Bell's story as he is the only narrator, the film as a story seems to balance, including Shigor, an equal trinity of importance. Bell connotes sound, and Anton's the Antichrist. This begs the question as to Moss and his namesake. Moss's name should first consider him in the context as an everyman, which deserves consideration as to whether he is the hero of the story or literary hero. And there's a difference. A literary hero, like Hamlet, has a character flaw, which is related to his downfall due to external causes beyond his control. Why did Moss miss killing the deer, only wounding it? Were it not for the dark cloud, which he had no control over, moving in on the desert? Who wouldn't take the money and run? And his flaw is one born of equal greed and guilt, which sucks him back into the deal gone wrong. Is he perfect as grass from even? Or more like moss, an imperfect grass? Has he gotten himself into a mess? Later, Bell underscores this alliterative rhyme when searching for moss. He laments it will do until the mess gets here. Psychological or Freudian literary criticism is suggested perhaps by Moss's androgynous first name, Lou Ellen, which may account for the duality of overprotectiveness as feminine and risk-taker as masculine hunter. Not to leave out name symbolism, later in the story Wells tells Moss that Anton's last name is Sugar. Sugar? To which Moss retorts, as if to say, this is the last guy on earth to have such a sweet name.